I am Doomsvince, and this is day 65 of Spawn Year.
I find myself now second-guessing whether Witchblade and Spawn are supposed to be in the same reality here. At first, I thought the alternate dimension device was introduced to put them together, but it really seems they were in the same world to begin with. What's so perplexing is the payoff at the end, with the man talking to a disembodied head on the park bench in present day, 1996. The man is a now immortal Royale, and the head is the story's villain, Cardinal, who Royale has kept in a box for 8 centuries, feeding off the power of the darkness, which is still a part of Cardinal, but which he can't wield anymore, due, I suppose, to his bodiless condition. While I fully expected this to be a one-off, standalone crossover that would have no bearing on anything else, I was surprised in issue 2 that it seemed to be establishing rules and background about the darkness, and doubly surprised that it ends by giving a specific date for the apocalypse, October 2nd, 1996. Discovering that date was Royale's motivation. He manipulated Cardinal to get him into the fairy dimension and pretended to befriend Spawn and Witchblade so they wouldn't stop him from getting to the magic that would allow him this knowledge. Now, I don't know why he wants to see the apocalypse so badly, and I doubt I'll find out in Spawn Year, but this is all about 5 times more engaging than most of the Spawn I've read, and it makes me wonder if there's some version of me in another reality being forced to read a whole year of Witchblade in the darkness, and if he's having a better time. I also wonder if this apocalypse will have any bearing at all on Spawn's continuity. It would be a great opportunity to move things along, given all the talk about the impending war between heaven and hell, but I doubt very seriously if it's something McFarlane picks up on in Spawn. And even if he did, I imagine October 2nd, 1996 is a ways off, since so little time has passed in 47 issues. Nevertheless, I appreciate the present-day component, and that there's a significant revelation that's relevant to someone, even if it doesn't factor into Spawn Year, and it makes this time period and team-up seem much less arbitrary. At the same time, Medieval Spawn's presence remains as gimmicky as I suspected. Ennis never explores or even hints at who he was before he was recruited by Hell, or why that happened. If I had spent 3 issues with Al Simmons, I would have found him so unremarkable I wouldn't have been curious to know what led him there. But Medieval Spawn is potentially fascinating, his behavior so contrary to what I would expect. He's left in a disappointing place, and the resolution of his relationship with Katarina is nothing short of underwhelming. She was indeed a former lover of his. He found her ravishing and fascinating, but for her, it was only an intoxicated one-night stand, and it meant nothing. She empathizes with Spawn for thinking it was more than that, but that's it. She remains wild and irresponsible, and continues to be motivated solely by greed. And she's still wielding the Witchblade, a ferociously powerful weapon she manages to tame this issue. The peasants across the countryside can sleep well tonight. So Katarina really learns nothing, achieves no degree of maturity, and Spawn is left with the knowledge that their coupling was meaningless, and it wasn't her love for him that allowed her to control the Witchblade as he thought, only the necessity of the comic to wrap up before it ran out of pages. I don't get the feeling that she's just unwilling to tell Spawn she really did love him. It comes off like it has to pay off something set up in the first issue, and I don't understand why Ennis couldn't have dreamed up a more satisfying conclusion. Katarina and Stalker do kind of get their comeuppance at the end when they transport their elven loot to Earth, and it becomes coal because elvish gold only remains gold on the fairy plane. All in all, this story is mostly an excuse for a lot of hack and slash and exaggerated drawings of Witchblade's thighs. It's hard to take it too seriously, especially when everyone keeps breaking period dialect and using as of yet undeveloped vernacular, like cut the crap and I call the shots around here. I've allowed myself to get so worked up over the main Spawn title. I could really use another superfluous miniseries tomorrow. I wonder if I might be so lucky. Signed, Captain Logan.